That is the picture of me on Labor Day weekend 2023 in a Fisker Ocean, the first time I have seen a Fisker Ocean in person. And this is taking place in Wayne, New Jersey. Fisker had a pop-up event, an opportunity to come and see the Fisker Ocean. They've had a couple of these throughout the year that I've almost made. Almost made one in Florida, almost made one in California, but this is the first one I actually made. And I bought this car sight unseen more than a year ago. We'll go through that here. And so this is the first time I got to see it. It was pretty exciting. First time I got to drive it. And this is pretty much the exact look of the car that I ordered. Now, I got to test drive it because I received an email from Fisker inviting me to this test drive. And you can see my up on top there, my sequence number is 98. I'll explain that here in just a little bit. So the first question I get is why and how did I buy a car sight unseen? Fisker launched the Ocean in, I think it was November of 2021. And it looked pretty interesting. And I didn't know much about the car. I didn't know much about Fisker. But I watched the launch. It was in Manhattan Beach, California. And they showed the car, and it looked really interesting. And they said to get one, you can put down a refundable $250 deposit. So I went ahead and did that without really knowing much what I was getting into. But over time, after doing that deposit back in November 2021, I began to learn more about Hendrik Fisker himself and the company Fisker Incorporated. And I also started learning more about the car. And the more I learned, the more I liked. And at some point, they announced the Fisker Ocean 1. So what is the Ocean 1? The 1 is a launch version of the Ocean and effectively the launch version of Fisker Inc. And it's a fully loaded model. They're making 5,000 of them worldwide. They happen to be numbered. My number is 98. And there was a month or so, about in July of 22, where these were for sale. And it was a non-refundable deposit. So at this point, I had learned enough about the car and the brand that I thought it might be kind of fun to get the one. And it's not like you would have much of a choice later. And if you wanted to wait till you could test drive the car, you wouldn't be getting one in 23. And so it seemed like why not? So I went ahead and put down a non-refundable deposit on the Fisker One back in November 2022. So when I arrived at the mall, they had a little tent set up in the parking lot. They had tote bags, snacks, drinks, etc. And they brought with them 4 different Oceans. This first one is what they call Blue Planet. It's a bright electric blue. Gorgeous car, probably for someone a little younger than me, but just a gorgeous car. I don't know the name of those wheels on it. This next car is Silver Linings. They actually had 2 Silver Linings vehicles with them. It's the silver, metallic silver, I guess. Really nice looking car. This one here is what they call Horizon Gray. It's more of a blue than a gray. I was actually pretty impressed with it. If I had known it was this color, I probably would have seriously considered this one. This is the one that I actually ordered. This is called Big Sur Blue. It's a premium color. It's a matte finish. Those are actually the same wheels I have, and this one has the same interior, which is Malibu, they call it, Malibu interior. And there's the other Silver Linings that they brought with them. So they had 3 cars available for test drives. They had one parked the whole time that you can climb in and play with the electronics and whatnot.
If you want, I can show you the Malibu interior.
Yeah. So this is a Malibu. This is a synthetic
Eco Suede and Eco Tech, which is our synthetic leather.
Excellent. All right, look at that. A screen behind the steering wheel. That's quite an innovation. And here's a 17-inch screen, currently in landscape mode, which means we're not driving. Below the touch buttons are 2 charging pads, cup holder, And the infamous taco tray.
Tap this Fisker icon, you see a little bit of navigation, climate control with your heated seats, and also your audio apps right here. So you can either press home here, it'll go back to this screen, or you can click on navigation, it'll take you to the navigation icon. You see a little bigger framing. You can end the route. I can go back to home again. I can click the temperature controls for the seats and it'll do quick little shortcuts. Or I can click it where it says low and it'll take you to your climate control as if you could have done it right here. So if I click that, back to your home screen, click the fan icon, is your climate controls. So of course you can move the vents. Physical buttons right here. If you want to shut it off pretty quickly, just tap the little haptic screen here. If you want to put it back on, just tap that again. You have dual climate control. As you see a chain link right here. That means you can control temperatures on both sides of the front. If you tap this, it actually unlinks it, so that means I can have a different temperature and so can you.
Nice.
If you want to link it back up, it'll go back to your temperature. Just like that. You also have one touch for front defroster and rear defroster. When you put them on, they go on the highest temperature and the fastest speed to get it done quicker. To get it off of it, take it off, it'll go back to your last climate control setting, which is pretty cool.
Okay, yeah.
And then you want to go ahead and record the Revolve Hollywood mode. You hold this Fisker icon till it rotates and let it go. And when after it rotates, when in this view, it actually unlocks this app icon so you can see all your streaming.
2 cup holders and 2 charging pads.
2 wireless charging pads. You have a little bit of space right behind the screen, and you actually have space actually under the charging pads through and through.
And let's take a look at the back seat. Oh, these door knobs pop out?
They do pop out when the vehicle is unlocked. They'll go ahead and flush in when you put the vehicle in drive or lock it manually. These are back seats. They do fold forward. And I can actually show you that now if you actually need additional cargo space. You have to do it from the side. Bring them down just like that. This one combines the left passenger seat and the middle, and the other one you can actually bring down the far right. And if you look at the trunk here,
already open.
Already open. You have a cargo cover for this instance. If you want to cover precious cargo, no one takes a little peek in your vehicle.
And there's a shopping bag holder, right?
A shopping bag holder. So you do have under cargo space. You do have a cargo divider as well.
Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, these hooks right here.
So little hooks. You want to put any bags anywhere?
Yeah.
You want your groceries to roll around. On this side, you actually have a 120 volt outlet, a household outlet.
This is where you plug in your blender.
You can, and you also have a 12 volt as well. You can see the old school cigarette lighter chargers back then. You can always close this, and you can always take off the cargo cover as well.
Yeah, very nice. And the seats are what, at 60/40?
About.
And you can put down just the middle as well.
You can. So it actually will be connected together. So if you pull down the middle, you have to pull down the left seat as well. They're connected.
Okay. Where is the camera for the rearview mirror?
Rearview mirror. If you want to close that for me, you can actually press that button.
Oh, I see, right there.
Correct, you found it.
So it's underneath, that's why you don't get rain on it.
Exactly, and then this is where your rear view camera is when you put the vehicle in reverse.
Okay. So it's locked right now? Is that why the door? So
let me unlock it, and you see the door handles flush out.
I see.
And I'll lock it again so you can see when they flush it.
Nice. Now we haven't seen California mode yet.
I can do that for you. Let me unlock the car. I'm doing it from the key fob.
This is 8 panels of glass moving.
Doggy windows go down, rear hatch windows, and the solar sky roof opens.
So on the test drive, the car does really well. I was very impressed and surprised how well this car drives. This car is, it's an interesting size. It's both feels small and big at the same time. But it is a very heavy, very powerful car. This thing has 563 horsepower, 2 different motors, 2 different batteries. I'm not sure what it weighs, but it's a very heavy car. Earth mode is the default mode, and there's nothing wrong with it. It only uses one of the motors. It gets exceptional range. It's great for the city driving, and so probably comparable to most cars of this size and the internal combustion engines. Then you can switch it to fun mode, which changes the metrics a little bit and gives you a little more performance, and that's really nice, really nice, comfortable place to drive. Has all the benefits of an EV. And then there's hyper mode, and hyper mode is the 3.7 seconds 0 to 60, very high performance. It also has regenerative braking, obviously, and that is adjustable. You can adjust that with that 17-inch display. You can adjust high, medium, or low with the regenerative braking, and it works great. So it's nice that you have these variables in the modes. In addition to Earth, Fun, and Hyper, there's also a Boost mode, and Boost is there's 500 of them in the car for the life of the car, and you turn that on, and it goes 0 to 60 even faster than the I think it's like 3.3 or something like that. It's ridiculous. Okay, so here's a time where we're able to really slow down and speed up, and you can see I've tried to make the speedometer a little bigger, but my camera person, my poor wife in the back seat, was a little taken back by the acceleration of the vehicle, so it really sped up there. And then this here is a crazy on-ramp. I mean, it's basically a full stop. There's no runway really, so we're at a full stop, and we just take off, and I mean, it just you can't quite make out that speedometer, but we got up to speed pretty darn quick. It's actually a really nice little test drive here. I think there was just a lot of things that were well thought out. The sensors on the car are aware of the stoplights, and so it has a nice feature that when the stoplight turns green, it has a little pleasant chime. And that's in case you're reading your cell phone or playing with the stereo or something, and you don't see the light turn green. And that's a great little feature. I really like that. There's just a number of things like that were thought out in the vehicle. On that armrest there, you can see that there's a little panel. That is the rear seat climate control. Here's a better picture of it. And also in the rear seat, by your feet, there's a couple of USB ports ready for use. They fold into the center console to disappear. One of the more interesting features of the Ocean is this giant sunroof. So one, it's a giant sunroof. Two, California mode, when it opens all 8 panels of glass, it's basically a convertible. But three, it is also a solar panel. And it, from a mileage perspective, it only is something like 1,500 miles a year in reasonably sunny conditions. But I don't think that's the key feature. I think the key feature is that you can park in a hot parking lot in the sunshine and run the air conditioner for without wearing out your battery as much. At least that's what I hope. But the sunroof is really large. The interior is very roomy and comfortable, and features quite a bit of recycled materials. I think it's 50 kilograms of recycled plastics in there. I love the digital rear view mirror. That little button on the bottom of the mirror allows you to switch it from a regular mirror to a digital mirror. And those back seats have headrests and have possibly people in them, and it really increases your visibility. And there's the key fob as well. You probably don't even need the key fob because the app on the smartphone will support a digital key from your phone, but it does have a fob as well. Well, that concludes my test drive. I actually did the test drive over 2 separate days and really enjoyed it. The Fisker staff were great. The car was great. I'm really pleased with everything I saw, and I'm looking forward to getting it. They say it should be arriving in September sometime. I don't have any additional information. I don't even know if it's been built. I don't know if it's on a boat. I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully it arrives soon, and thanks for watching this video.